Woohoo! What is up, everybody? We are live. Welcome back to the channel. This is Justin Proper here for another episode of This Week in Bullshit. And today I am joined by some very lovely guests today. First and foremost, my co-host for this stream, probably one of the more interesting guys in the fandom menace, and he has some great videos, and he just passed 400 subscribers not too long ago. So congratulations, my friend Pop Culture PB. How you doing, man?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Tom. Thank you for the introduction. Glad to be here.
Well, I thought till he said 400, he was going to be saying we were streaming with a dead guy.
No, of course not. No.
He's like, he just passed 400.
Sorry.
No, I know you did not. I put the space there.
Excellent use of punctuation.
I like that little subtitle that you have there, PBBS Warrior. I like that. I think I'm going to use that. We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I have nothing trademarked, so go for it.
Sweet. All right. And also a guy who has a very successful channel, Midnight's Edge After Dark, and he's also part of Midnight's Edge. We actually have two members of Midnight's Edge right here. Mary, if you count, right? I think so at this point.
I think I count.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got a wrench.
Oh, yeah. Tom.
Did you see that, Mary? You got a wrench. I seen that.
Got a wrench.
Not very many people have a Midnight's Edge wrench. There's only like 3 or 4. Yeah, and you finally got a tiara I was supposed to get you. But
anyways, Tom, how you doing, man?
I'm doing the best I can. I've had a day, and I'm just glad to talk some BS with friends.
Absolutely.
And look at that gorgeous woman on top of me, and there's nothing better than a gorgeous woman on top of you.
I'm glad it makes you happy, man. And of course, speaking of people who
gorgeous women on top of me.
Oh yeah. Gorgeous women on top of Tom. Also somebody who's had a really rough last few days, but she has risen from the grave and has came here and brought on a lovely face here, Miss Mary Mayhem, my YouTube bestie. How you doing?
My YouTube bestie. Yeah, dude, I haven't been over here in ages.
Are you beating the coronavirus?
Dude, everybody keeps saying that's what it was. I don't actually know what it was. So it's it could have been anything. I no insurance, so it is what it is. But yes, I am not dead. I'm not dead. So
well, I'm glad you didn't pass.
By the way, now you're getting a little fuzzy, Mary. You're skipping.
Now I'm getting fuzzy. Yeah.
Oh, that's all right.
I thought that might happen. I'll try to hold still.
Okay, no, you're good. Now you're fine, actually. You're just fine now.
As long as I don't.
Oh, hey, Matt G. Hey, thank you for the super chat. The Dark Mayhem rises. Yes, she has risen once again, and hopefully she's here to stay.
Only I rise.
And let's say hello to you lovely, proper compadres in the chat. What's up, Mary? Hail, friends. Frank and the Shawhan Wiener Dog Clan, one of the people who inspired me to make a channel and actually make videos, and this is why I'm here today. Frank and the Shawhan Wiener Dog Clan. Shout out also goes to DJD Show and Mr. Peabody. Will Gentry, how you doing, man? He says, there are free streams starting at 1 a.m. Oh, my goodness. That being 2 minutes.
Well, when you're done here, a 9:30 stream over on John's Hawks side.
Yep, that'll be right afterwards. So you can flip-flop back and forth, and you got a variety of options. So, hey, glad you chose us. Appreciate it, man. And Jeffrey Nelson says, hail Mary Mayhem. Hail Mary Mayhem.
Hold on, I totally have a joke. We know you have a choice when choosing your live streaming, and we appreciate you for choosing Justin Proper. Please buckle in and observe all safety signs. Enjoy your flight.
Can you show me how to buckle?
Ruth.
When do I get the warm peanuts?
I like warm penis.
You prefer prefer them like frozen or something? What's wrong with you? Hey, what's up, servants of God? How you doing, man? And we also got Matchy again.
I apologize.
Matchy, thank you once again for the super chat.
Drunk 3PO.
Drunk 3PO's here? Okay, I'll get to him in just a second. Trace XL, how you doing, man? I'm glad you got some popcorn there. Fuel the Hatred puts feet up. Oh, yeah. Eat the popcorn, put your feet up. Just sit back and relax. Enjoy the show, guys. Wookiee Supremacy. What's up, man? It's great to see you here. Good to see you here. Also, shout out to my lovely patrons, Miss Mary Mayhem and What an Ass, What a Bitch, What a Cuck. You guys are awesome. Go check out my Patreon. It's a work in progress, but going to have a lot of content coming up soon. Oh, you said, wow, I unsubbed from your channel. Oh, thanks, Drunk.
He was.
What did I do? What did I do? What did I do?
You need to read that properly.
Justin, he was unsubbed from your channel. That means YouTube did it to him. It's not.
No, I got it. No, I'm twisting.
No, I was there. I saw him do it. He's like, fuck this guy. I'm unsubscribing from his channel. Click.
What, you dummy?
I'm like, do it. Do it.
No, I'm just teasing you, Drunk. But thank you for resubscribing. YouTube has done that a little bit lately. I recently got like a little.
Said he resubscribed. He just said he was unsubbed from your channel.
I'm so sorry, proper Justin kid.
He never said he rectified it.
What? You did what to your rectum?
Oh, Darksider 13. Oh, dude, I don't think I've seen you around before. It's very nice to see you. Welcome to the channel. Alex McCarthy, I don't have a seatbelt. You should probably get one. Drive safely, my friend. And Michael Brent, how you doing? He says, I wouldn't trust Disney to do a proper Green Lantern movie or Star Trek. Yeah, neither would I.
See, and he says, I didn't say I resubscribed. See, I told you he did that shit on purpose. I saw it. I was a witness. Who are you on the phone with, Mary? It better not be me.
I would think you would know if I was on the phone with you. No, I got a call. Sorry.
I'm just picking.
It's all good. Keck44, he's just lurking in here. Nice to see you, man. How you doing? All right. So let's get started here. First and foremost, this is something that was brought to my attention earlier this morning, and then I saw that Jerry made a video about this. Lovely article. It's from Forbes, so I think you guys might remember this lovely familiar face. Our good friend Scott Mendelson, who we all love.
The most
Scotty,
comfortable face on the internet.
Oh, he does kind of look. He does kind of look like.
He looks
like Jim Carrey a little bit.
Look at that guy. He looks. I just want to punch him in his stupid face.
Oh, right.
I don't want to do that. But
we have a lethal lightning in the chat.
He does have a little bit of a shit-eating grin. I will admit that for sure. Oh, hey, Lethal. How you doing? What's Star Wars? You're about to find out.
Guy whose favorite thing ever to do is say "fuck them Wookiees." You know what Star Wars is,
right? Anyways, guys, so this is what Scott Mendelson wrote. Star Wars may never recover from the damage done by Rise of Skywalker.
Dun,
that's
dun.
not correct. Already you were wrong. The Star Wars would never recover after the damage done by The Last Jedi. You could even say The Force Awakens, but Scott Mendelson, all he says is, I cover the film industry. Well, what a great bio. Great bio, Scott. But Scott, let's see what you have to say today. I have high hopes for you. He says, no matter what happens to Star Wars, be it on buzzy shows on Disney Plus or the next batch of hopefully well-liked movies, Lucasfilm and Disney will have blown the self-proclaimed ending to the Skywalker saga. The 2-month anniversary of the domestic debut of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. I can't believe we're celebrating 2 months. Wow, 2-month anniversary. Gee, that's a milestone. Star Wars Episode 9 debuted on that day amid mixed negative reviews and lower audience polling scores than any previous live-action theatrical Star Wars movie. In pure financial terms, it's a hit with all this boring stuff. And it opened this year.
It made a couple bucks, maybe.
Yeah, it made $1 billion, which isn't something to really laugh about.
And they're going to really push that $300 box set that's coming out next month too. You watch. I'm not kidding. I've heard a lot about it already. It's going to have 27 fucking discs in it.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's almost like $300. It's
what
like
is this?
The new big Skywalker saga box set that's coming out with all the films in 4K, the 9 saga films, not Solo and Rogue One and stuff, but just the episode 1 through 9. It's going to have all 4 films in 4K, all the films in 4K, all the films in Blu-ray, and then a bunch of bonus shit.
I did hear about
big
that.
Ass box set.
I mean, it is 9 movies, and you know, if it's another
27 discs in all, yeah.
27 discs. What are all the discs for?
Bonus discs, and then one's 4K, one's Blu-ray right there. That's
so
18
so when
discs.
you go out to shoot the movie, it's more satisfying. Pull.
Now, here's the funny thing about this, and then I'll shut up about it. People are pointing out that in the trailer for the Blu-rays, there are scenes in the trailer that are not in the movie, but there's no deleted scenes listed for the Blu-ray of Rise of Skywalker. So does this mean we're getting that JJ extended cut on Blu-ray? Question mark.
Is it going to be a separate disc?
I doubt it. They would, well, that's possible, but they usually would advertise it as so. So it's just kind of strange.
That kind of does lead to another interesting conversation of what if there are special editions of like the new movies? What if that does happen?
Yeah, they are. They're edited by somebody we know.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I can't say the name, or Mary will have a live orgasm. So
what is it?
Oh, I already. Yeah,
Ivan Ortega. There she goes.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that? You just saw her come a little on stream. Did you see that?
I thought you were gonna say Mahler.
You want to see? Oh, I'll do that. Mahler.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is the thing, isn't it?
See now she
I saw the picture a while ago. Anyways, let's get back to the article.
19K Fox and Mahler with their shirts off, and Mahler is telling everybody about it.
I'm happily shipped.
He's narrating it. Oh God. Wow. That's interesting. Anyways, Lucasfilm and Disney will still have to cope with the fact that they botched the end game to the Skywalker saga. And I've been comparing those two movies for ages, and there's plethora of options there. No matter what comes next, no matter how well the next batch of Star Wars movies and TV shows are received by the masses, the core fandom menace to Rise of Skywalker narrative, which sounds so weird to say, they don't even seem connected at all, will be hamstrung by a poorly received finale. Heck, as much as Rise of Skywalker repeated the mistakes of Spectre, Spider-Man 3, Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald, which, yeah, but those Fantastic Beasts movies, they suck. Those franchises either got a chance to set things right in further installments, or, in the case of Spider-Man, represents just one variation of an oft-told franchise. But as far as theatrical Star Wars movies about the Skywalker clan is concerned, these 9 movies are it, and Rise of Skywalker badly blew the landing. Okay, we agree, Scott. But what took you so long? What took you so long?
Well, no, he's been like this since Rise of Skywalker came out. Now, granted, he was a fan of The Last Jedi, but he's never wavered on his treatment. In fact, he's been one of the hardest critics on The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, well, he's purely on this kick because he's one of the first ones to come out and kick it in the shins because it was making fun of his Last Jedi because it hurt his PPs.
Yeah, that's why he hates it.
Yeah, I'm very well aware of Scott Mendelson, and I know that he's been at it at the beginning. But I'm just talking about
Scott Mendelson is my arch enemy.
Star Wars in general. Wait, what do you have against Scott personally?
I hate Scott Mendelson. I mean, he's probably a nice guy, but every fucking take he has is the dumbest take after the next dumbest take after the next. Look at that smug face.
Right? I want to punch him in his stupid face.
Okay, but
it's like Jim Carrey's lesser brother. All righty then.
Like Jim Carrey at least has like moments of hotness. I'm sorry, I'm being very, very shallow here right now, and I know that. But Jim Carrey at least has moments, or had when he was younger, moments of hotness. I just want to punch Scott Mendelson. Look at him. Look at him. You could totally punch him right in the face, and imagine the satisfaction you would feel as your fist hit his flesh. It would be so satisfying. It would be like peeling your skin after a sunburn or something. It'd be great.
It looks like somebody already did punch
him.
Did
he hurt your feelings, Mary? Jesus.
He's a total hack fucking shill. Like,
hey, you know what though? I think that talking to Scott Mendelson at a bar at Celebration would actually be a lot of fun.
Oh, I'm sure. Like I said, he might be a nice guy once you get him outside of the Forbes robe, but You know, that's the thing is he's been beating the drum for Disney for so long, and now he's jumping on this bandwagon with all these other critics that are like, The Last Jedi was the greatest thing since sliced bread, and The Rise of Skywalker sucks and ruins my movie and Reylo.
I don't think Disney's drum is what he's beating.
Look, can you please not say Reylo right now? I just
I apologize.
I'm sorry that he brought up Raylo. I mean, sorry.
I'm just saying.
But I love his little like dig at Trevorrow too in there. It's like, even though Trevorrow's script was probably superior.
Do we need to tempt fate right now? I make no promises. I won't barf all over.
Andre already took this motherfucker over the coals in his video earlier. If you didn't watch it, he's like, Mendelsohn, shut the fuck up and let me take you to school. And for like 9 minutes, he took Mendelsohn to school.
I cannot wait to see that. Is that the newest upload?
Yeah, it just dropped here like an hour and a half ago, and not even.
Sweet. All right. By the way, Will Gentry, what the hell is wrong with you? He says, I keep getting him mixed up with Chris Stuckman. Chris Stuckman. Chris, did I say? I'm saying that. Chris
Stuckman.
Chris
That
Stuckman.
implies something.
I say it together. Chris Stuckman. What was wrong with how he did it?
I don't want to imply that I agree, but Darksider XIII.
Oh, what did he say?
Top 3 punchable Scott Ryan Johnson. That's hard to argue with.
You know what? Hold on. This is going to anger a lot of people, but I actually did keep this from the movie theater. I probably shouldn't be sharing this, but oh well.
No, I kept stuff from.
I kept it. I'm sorry, guys.
No, that's fine. Encourage him.
No, why?
No. This is why, Mary, and this is why I'm gonna keep that.
He kept it because he's trying to appreciate it.
Yes, that, but also just think of it this way. I want to encourage Ryan to make other movies, not Star Wars. Nothing. I actually liked Knives Out. I really thought it was really good. But
I've not heard one person say it's a bad movie, so I can say that.
I didn't bother to go see it because F that guy in his stupid effing face.
I get it. I totally understand where you're coming from. However, I don't know. I just liked it. And it's a reminder for me to, whenever I go to a movie, to just kind of think of it more objectively. I had to really sit down and just be like, all right, I'm just gonna give this a chance, like take that out of my mind, and I actually kind of enjoyed it. And
I really don't want to take it away from the guy, because encourage his ass. I'm glad, because this speaks exactly to what we've been saying too. This was the wrong guy to be making a fucking Star Wars movie. He should be making stuff like Looper and Knives Out, not this.
Thank you. But that's all you really touch on.
Look, I'm not telling you you're not welcome to go see whatever it is that you like. That's not, and I would encourage you to make your own choices for yourself, of course. My personal stance is just F Ryan Johnson. It's hard for me to support a person because of the devastation that he did to something that I love so much. And so I'm still a little wounded. I'm going to need a little time. Okay. And so I'm just not at a place where I'm personally willing to go see one of his movies. It doesn't mean I think less of anyone else for going to see the movie, especially if based on everything I've heard, it was a good movie. That's great and everything. I'm holding a grudge. Holding a little grudge here.
As you should, because I agree, Mary. Fuck Ryan Johnson.
I do too. But I didn't go, but I'm in the same boat. I don't discourage anybody from going. I didn't actively go out and say, fuck Knives Out or anything like that, as far as like trying to kill the movie anyway. Not that I have that much swing or sway, but I didn't see anybody in the fandom menace, for that matter, really going out there and saying, oh, boycott Knives Out, just because Ryan Johnson's directing it.
No one really said that, but they said, I'm not going to go support it.
Exactly. Yeah, there's that aspect of it. And
that's fine. But, well, I guess it just, to me, it was just, if I'm going to watch this, I was intrigued. And I was pleasantly surprised, but that's all the shilling that I'm going to do. Hey, CT117, he's been a great viewer and supporter, and even a friend, for quite some time. It's good to see you again, man. It's great to see you. Anyways, let's get back to the article. So this is where it kind of takes a little bit of a turn. All right, so Star Wars as a brand will live long and prosper. The Mandalorian went over like gangbusters, and the first 5 Disney Star Wars films earned $5.92 billion worldwide on a combined $1.2 billion budget. With the $4 billion, I guess they kind of made their money back afterwards. All right. Whatever drop-off it takes now that the Skywalker saga is done was inevitable from the start. The last 5 Star Wars movies weren't just new Star Wars movies. They were explicitly pieces of shit. Link to the original Star Wars trilogy with the 3 episodes acting as sequels to Return of the Jedi, complete with returning cast members 3 decades after the fact. It's actually closer to 4, but okay. Whatever comes next, be it Knights of the Old Republic or what have you, is going to have to contend with being some movie that happens to be set in the Star Wars universe. But Star Wars 9 now puts the franchise on the defensive. I think a movie prior did, and I think even Force Awakens put off a lot of people. But hey, I see your point. It's no secret that the production was rushed, with JJ subbing in for Colin Trevorrow. That's an understatement. With the intent of hitting a May 24th, 2019 release date. And to their credit, Disney eventually delayed the film to December 20th, 2019, giving each Star Wars episode. I love how he quotes like episode, because I don't think they're really, I don't think they're attached either. I think Scott's kind of coming through now. Join us, Scott. Join the fandom menace.
Well, we got to rewrite that for him. Trevorrow was more like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Guys, this is the same person, though. You have to keep in mind, this is the same person who slammed us and slammed people for hating The Last Jedi, right? This is the guy who shilled the hell out of himself, or shilled the hell out of The Last Jedi, right? The only reason he's doing this is because he enjoyed The Last Jedi, or at least he shilled so hard for The Last Jedi that he can hardly backtrack now.
Not just that, you can trace this motherfucker's DNA back to Ghostbusters. Like, he is ground zero for that shit.
Wait,
that's another thing that I have against him.
I'm not reading the 23andMe on this guy.
2016 Ghostbusters. He was like, this is a great film.
Yeah, he was one of the guys that was out there saying, you're a bunch of fucking racist trolls and Trump-loving, cousin-humping men, babies who can't get over the past.
That was John Campea, but...
Women are funny, get over it.
Here's what blows my mind about this.
It's like John Campea's, fucked up brother telling you.
But here's what blows my mind about this little article here is that all of a sudden now it's okay to point out that Star Wars is wrecked. Now it's okay to point out that it might well be beyond reparation at this point, right? It might not be. I mean, you certainly can't save the Skywalker saga, at least if you include the Disney sequels to that, right? That you can't do that. So why is it that now it's okay? Now it's okay to hate this stuff. Now it's okay to point out that this wrecked this franchise. Why is it okay for him to do it, but it wasn't okay for us when The Last Jedi came out? Can someone explain that to me? Can someone explain to me the difference between what he's doing now and what we were doing? What, because this was the last film? Well, I'm sorry, but The Last Jedi wrecked the characters beyond the ability to repair them. So the last film really didn't have too much of a choice here. I'm just saying, why is it okay now? He can suck a bit.
Exactly what you said. It's over. He's free. He doesn't have to shill for them anymore. That's not another movie anymore. So
no, but I get where Mary's coming from. It's pretty low. It's a low bar now.
I know it is.
The only reason he has anything against this movie is hypocritical in a sense that, like she's saying, he's been going after us not just for this movie but all kinds of movies for similar reasons that he's trying to boast here, which are real thin compared to some of the shit that we've all brought up in our defense of why we disliked The Last Jedi or any of the other Star Wars recently since Disney's taken over. So I mean, he's just going in that direction of saying, oh, you fucked up my trilogy, just like all these other I don't want to say the word because it'll trigger Mary, but these Rolos out there
No, too close. Too close. Where's the bucket?
Fuck. I tried. I fucking tried. Just think of caramel inside of chocolate.
Ah, hell.
Well, that's
I like
a good feeling.
Rolos. I like Rolos. Everybody likes Rolos.
I like
Anyway.
Rolos, too. Dude, for some reason, I thought Jesse Miller came in like from the crow's nest, just like for a second. That was actually a good impression of him.
Oh, wasn't even trying. I was just doing a goofy voice.
Oh, I think he could do his voice pretty well. That was actually that was pretty good. But anyways, back to the article. So he says it's no secret that the production was rushed. Yeah, with J.J. Abrams. Yeah, we already read that. He says, alas, the final theatrical cut has all the signs of a rush production and behind-the-scenes melodrama in a way that wasn't obviously evident with The Force Awakens, Rogue One, and Solo. No, yes, maybe. No, probably not, but I understand where you're coming from, but definitely not. You fired Lord and Miller, obviously, behind-the-scenes melodrama. Like, okay, if he's talking about... Do you guys think he's talking about the final product, or do you think he's talking about just? No,
he's talking about the last movie here. Like he's good with everything, but
no, I understand that. But what does he mean by the cut has all the signs of a rushed production and behind the scenes melodrama in a way that wasn't obviously evident with Force Awakens, Rogue One, and Solo.
The Force Awakens, well, look, everything was rushed. Everything was rushed. Literally no movie that we've gotten from Lucasfilm hasn't had its share of problems, right? Mm-hmm. But I will grant him, he is correct that somehow Rogue One escaped it. And look, Solo was fine. The Force Awakens...
Well, that's because they had some people who were actually competent at their jobs and who have made really awesome movies in the past. I really like Ron Howard, so that was fine with me, I guess. But what were you saying, PB?
Well, I would say that Rogue One only halfway escaped it because 90% of the stuff that you saw in the marketing isn't even in the film. Like the film is still good from my perspective, but I really want to see what happens when you're standing on a platform looking eye to eye with a TIE fighter.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. But then they're like, wait, that's probably not going to work. How does she escape it? We don't know. She probably doesn't.
Right. And they're like, nope, just take it out. And they talked to the marketing department, and the marketing department said, don't worry about it. People aren't going to care about it. That was the first thing I thought of when I was, done thinking about Vader murdering all those people. I was like, wait a second. Where was all that other stuff that I seen in the marketing that looked cool? I mean, it took me a couple hours to get over that scene, but once I got over it, I was like, wait a second, we're missing some things. So, so rushed a little, but the movie still came out nice.
Yeah. Yeah, the movie was fine if you like boring movies of characters that you don't care about.
Yeah, broken clocks even right twice once a day.
Yeah, I mean, I personally didn't like it, but I understand why others do.
However you say it, I fucked it up. But anyway. I
want to know why it is that he doesn't mention. It's interesting that he doesn't mention the problems with The Last Jedi in this. When you look at the Last Jedi,
he just said Force Awakens, Rogue One, and Solo. He doesn't mention The Last Jedi at all.
Well, no. But that's... I'm talking about The Last Jedi being as evidently, as very clearly messed up, as very clearly disjointed, and as very clearly odd in the scope of the entire saga, right? The Last Jedi is just maybe not just as bad a film objectively as The Rise of Skywalker, because it is at least paced okay for the most part, except for things like Canto Bight or whatever. And of course, The Rise of Skywalker is just a train wreck the entire way through. But The Last Jedi doesn't even remember what the hell happened 2 seconds ago in The Force Awakens. In so many situations, it doesn't keep in continuity at all. It doesn't have any idea how the Force works when they literally just made that joke, right? It's a flip flop of a film. It's a mess from beginning to end. But Scott Mendelsohn can't see that. He's just so mad that The Rise of Skywalker pissed all over The Last Jedi, because I honestly think that's the only film in the entire saga he cares about. It's the only one he needs or wants.
Right, and that's kind of let's let's face it, that's what this whole editorial is about. It's him justifying and basically making excuses, and so he can't say he was wrong about The Last Jedi. And I'm pretty sure through this whole entire thing, he avoids mentioning anything about the fans, at least not in a non-negative way if he does, because that's the whole thing.
Fans. He doesn't mention fans at all.
Exactly, because then that means he would have to justify us and justify the real reason why The Rise of Skywalker failed.
Wait, hold on.
Which means that The Last Jedi drove off all the fucking fans.
I don't think he mentions the word fans, but I think he mentioned earlier. I'll have to double check, but it says something about and lower audience score. So that's the only mention of it, really. It just says like, okay, critics and audiences didn't like it. Okay, that's about it, though. It doesn't mention, but also not mentioning it doesn't hold him. He doesn't want to hold himself accountable for the things that he's said either. Well, I think that might have been the reason.
I think Tom touched on something interesting there. Is they did drive off of fans, right? Like there was nothing left but normies to go to the theater when this happened. Even the
normies didn't give a shit.
Even the normies did, exactly. They didn't give too much of a shit when this was over. This made just over $1 billion. They didn't even make $1.1 billion. And look, the most skeptical of us here in the Fandom Menace, we're pegging it at 1.2, right? Like there were people who were putting it between 1 to $1.2 billion, and it made on the low end of that spectrum. The normies even abandoned this at the end. No one cared about how this movie ended. And why is that? I will tell you why it didn't do well. It's because The Last Jedi set it up to be completely screwed up from beginning to end, right? From no one cared even when it started, right? It had its initial little normie boost, and then everybody was like, I'm done, whatever. It doesn't even matter. And you can call $1 billion a great little haul or whatever if you want, but then you have to take into consideration how much it costs to make this movie in the first place. When freaking The Force Awakens made over $2 billion. What the hell? How did we fall this far? We did not fall from $2 billion to just a hair over $1 billion over the course of one movie. No, it took time for us to get here, and you fucked with the fans. You fucked with the fans. That's how it happened.
Yeah, and that's the point exactly. Is
like this, I think the second film would have probably made close to that amount. I mean, not as close. I don't know if it would have hit 2 billion, but if it was really good, absolutely, because it's not about just it's just another sequel. It's just another movie. No, it's not that. It's a continuing saga of a franchise that people invested 40 years of their lives in. So,
well, not just that. You look at how these franchises generally upswing, and generally it's a direct reaction to the film that preceded the one that is generally the bigger film. It goes all the way back to like Nightmare on Elm Street 4 was like one of the first places you've seen this, where 4 was a bigger hit than 3.
Yes,
because of the momentum of part 3. Then you jump ahead in time to like things like in recent years. Look at just the Marvel movies as a perfect example. They've been around for almost 10 years now. They built up the momentum off of the hype of Infinity War. Look at what Endgame did. Okay, now you can
definitely, yes.
You can kind of argue that was set up in Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
Then they built it to the height in Infinity War, and everybody was just at this fever pitch that they had to be there opening fucking weekend to see Endgame. And they wanted to know what happened. You know what I mean? Like there was this pent up, I have to be there. That was not there for Star Wars after The Force Awakens, and it definitely wasn't there after The Last Jedi. Yeah, it tapered off not nearly as much after The Force Awakens, but you look at the numbers. Yeah, it had a great opening, and it just barely touched to close to what The Force Awakens did. So that's like, okay, that's a good place to start. Now, if the movie's good, then the sky's the fucking limit, because then that means everything's just going to go up from here. No, what we've seen was not just a downward trend. We've seen a motherfucking nosedive. Okay. Like you don't see this very often. Like, we'll sit there and people go, oh, Captain Marvel, do you think that's it for the MCU? I'm like, no, they need a few more mistakes for that to happen. But I said the same kind of thing for Star Wars. And Star Wars surprised the piss out of me when nobody went to see Solo, and then Rise of Skywalker did what it did, or failed to do anything, really. And Mendelsohn can make all the excuses he wants. There's tons of shit he's leaving out. Granted, he's leaving out merchandising, but we know the merchandising wasn't selling. So there was like shit merchandising for The Rise of Skywalker.
There wasn't any. I don't even think.
No, there was no toy
one.
line. There was just a few.
It's like they gave up
here and there. Yeah, and then as far as he doesn't even account for all the money that was dumped into the parks. Because I think it was $1 million each there.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if that comes directly from Lucasfilm. That's the Disney Imagineer thing. But if you count that, total.
It doesn't matter. Like I'm just saying, really put that against the $4 billion. As an investor, if you look at that against the $4 billion, and he's throwing numbers up there, forgetting how movie math works. Sure, they made 5 point whatever billion he put, but Disney only pocketed about maybe a third to half of that.
What did he say that the budget was that he just looked up on Wikipedia?
He said the incomplete budgets were 1.2 billion for all of them combined, and then they earned 5.92. Well, they sure as hell didn't take 5.92 and put it in the coffers. That's for sure.
No, I don't think. Yeah, probably not. I don't think so.
He's using stupid people math when they try to say, "Oh, but this movie made billions upon billions of dollars." It's like, no, motherfucker, it didn't, because
it's the budgeting, it's the coin line, it's everything. There's so much. You're so right, Tom. Because there's so much more to that than just how much a movie made. It's the merchandises. They have to pay the people to draw the eyes on the.
Well, everything costs money. So first of all, just let's just say for the sake of half of that money's almost gone because it goes to theaters and the distributors and all that other kind of shit.
They don't just take all of that, right?
Right. So that the intake at the theater, even though they got like the majority of the first weekend, it goes down each weekend to where the average is about 60%. Okay, so right off the bat, you lop off 40%. And then there's another, whatever percentage you got to take off, whatever your overhead was, your budget, your advertising, your reshoots, all that extra shit that they don't talk about,
Right.
And it all adds up. And by the end of the day, I'm hard pressed to sit here and see how this investment is in the black yet for them.
No, there's no way it's in the black.
No, Marvel has been carrying Disney Studio now for the last almost 10 years.
And that's what's with all of the delays on things like potentially casting Andor and the Obi-Wan and Kenobi series and all of that stuff. There's no way they're in the black, and there's no way that we're getting out of this hole anytime soon. Because as much as I think the Mandalorian is in and of itself a decent show and has some pretty good stuff.
I would argue that didn't make its money back. I bet you that cost them a hell of a lot more.
It costs I think $100 million or something like that.
Minimum.
Wait, no, not 100 million. What was it?
Its popularity can't save this, is what I'm saying. Like,
what can save it is Baby Yoda merchandise. I'm sorry, Ryan. I'm sorry, Ryan. That's what's getting.
He's not wrong. That's one of the few things they have.
They didn't take advantage of it. Sorry, Mary. What were you saying?
No, but he's not wrong, Mary.
They would have had to have made it in time for the holidays.
No, but he's not wrong, though. Look at it, though, this way. Of all the shit that we've had in the last few years of Star Wars, as soon as they started dropping pre-orders for Baby Yoda shit, it was selling out like that. When was the last time you remember something like Star Wars just flying off the shelves or selling out or, oh, fuck, I missed out on something? Because nobody gave a shit anymore. You can walk into any Walmart and get any of the Star Wars toys that came out this last year. I guarantee you.
Before we go too much further, though, I do have to get to the super chat. Thank you, Thomas Gilkey. Thomas is an OG. He's a gamers guy and also a good friend of ours. I still remember the day that we were on Shellback stream. Mary, you and I were on there, I believe, and Tom, he just picked him out of random and just joined the stream, and we found out so much about him. And Thomas is a good guy and probably one of the most loyal people you could possibly imagine that will shit talk you and just say mean things
that's
about
like
you.
His favorite thing to do or whatever, is to shit talk people. So
like he will super chat. Apparently he will super chat Josiah Rises and say. What did he say? He just said like drunk 3PO's better. Like, yeah, go there just for fun because they've known each other for years.
I see there's a lot of Baby Yoda hate, especially from Ryan Cannell, who sent you a super chat. Of course, Baby Yoda is trash. He's trash, but he's gonna make them.
Baby Yoda is trash.
He's gonna make them a buttload of money, though. Guarantee.
Oh, hey, Perp, how you doing? Perp is a part of the General Zod's fandom zone.
You want to know why? Because they actually got people coming to them for the license once again. That was why there was no toys. That was the other thing. And that's another reason why it took so long for this to happen is, part of it was Kathy's oversight. But the other problem was they didn't want to make Star Wars toys. Nobody was knocking at Disney's door going, hey, can we make Star Wars this? Can we make Star Wars that? Nobody gave a shit until Baby Yoda. Then they're like, we must have it because everybody wants it.
It's like their crack.
It is. Well, right now, you got to think about it. They want to strike while it's hot. And I'm not saying it's going to last forever, but
do that. They had an opportunity to strike while it's hot.
No, but what I'm saying is that it wasn't their fault per se, and I'm not sticking up for Disney or Kathleen Kennedy. I'm saying that there was no merchandiser who had the faith in it. I guarantee you that's what it's going to boil down to.
The problem with all of this, though, that's part of the problem.
Exactly, yeah.
All of these figureheads, all of these people who are running this stuff, they have no idea what they're doing. They can't even figure out the merchandising, right? Like this entire thing is a shit show. And for all the good that is in The Mandalorian, there's also some look, I'm not going to go as far as to call Baby Yoda trash. I'm not Ryan Kennel, but I will say that there are problems with this character. There are problems with continuity. There are things that need to be addressed and dealt with in terms of the abilities of this character, and it's a problem. And so I don't know. There's just so many issues. Even in the good stuff, there are still so many.
Yeah,
issues.
and I get that, but you're looking at it as from the perspective of a diehard fan. Yeah.
Hey Tom, I'm sorry, real quick. I'm just gonna get to Thomas Kilkey's super chat real quick. Cancel proper. Thank you, Thomas, once again. Yes, cancel proper. Cancel Justin proper. That was the thing that was going on yesterday when I threw shade at everyone's childhood favorite 80s film, The Never-Ending Story, which I hate.
What is wrong with you?
I hate the movie. I didn't like it.
Who hates The Never-Ending Story?
Me. I do. And I am sick of people, say how
weird
great it is.
people from Ohio.
I didn't
hate it, but I am upset that it ended.
Yeah, I think that was false advertisement. False advertisement.
They lied.
Lionel Hutz said in The Simpsons, "This is the greatest case like since The Never-Ending Story," and he actually won. He won that case, and I think that was my favorite Simpsons episode. I think that was the one where Homer goes into a restaurant. It's like all you can eat.
I give you 2 points for remembering that episode.
Traumatized Trace. You've traumatized Trace. I hope you're happy with yourself.
No, and to just finish what I was saying before, it doesn't matter how we all personally feel about Yoda. It doesn't matter what there's problems within the fandom and continuity. All that doesn't matter when it comes to the bottom line and dollar signs. And when you have something like that sells or can sell, and it gets to the point where you basically have nobody willing to even take a chance on it till after it becomes a hit, that's where you've gotten Star Wars to a point where they're not even going to take a chance on things that are probably sure things, because anybody looks at that damn baby, whether you like him or not, know the story or not, damn well you look at that thing and go, I see, little guys with suction cups sticking out of the windows, to quote Clamp from Gremlins, because, you just see it in that instant cute, and you're like, that thing will sell.
Yeah, and for all your efforts to market this stuff to women or whatever, you didn't have enough faith that they'd show up for the Mandalorian and coo and goo and ah and ooh all over that Baby Yoda. What the hell? Like, you don't even believe what you say. You don't even believe what you say. Oh, we're making it for women, right? We're totally bringing in a feminine crowd here. Never mind that we were already here. We already existed and all of that jazz. No, we got to bring in the female crowd. Well, all those females would have loved Baby Yoda. Like, Krista's a great example. The girl is obsessed. She's just obsessed.
Mecca.
Darth Barbie.
Mecca of all people likes Baby Yoda.
She loves Baby Yoda.
Look, here's my thing on Baby Yoda, because some people say that I love Baby Yoda. Some people say I hate Baby Yoda. I even had comments, I got my first mean comments, like genuinely mean comments on my channel, because I was just like, you have to kill Baby Yoda, otherwise The Mandalorian is not going to work. Because it's only going to be it's not about the Mandalorian, it's about Baby Yoda and about him being a babysitter the entire show. I don't want that.
I agree.
Baby Yoda is probably going to die at some point in the future because he didn't go into concussion protocol.
Well, I don't know about the last part, but yeah, something's going to end up happening because otherwise everybody's going to sit there and go, well, why didn't he show up for the sequel movies? Because obviously
Ryan,
that's going to be the big problem. Yeah.
Ryan, how dare you?
You have to ignore him. He's just
Women don't need.
I think Ryan missed the point on that one.
Garbage. Oh, Ryan. Such an asshole.
No, but even with its flaws, the problem we still that stems from the Mandalorian is that's the best we've gotten to this point. That's the sad part. Whether you actually do kind of like it for what it is or don't like it for what it is, and I understand where Mary's coming from. There is a lot of issues with the show, but it still doesn't change the fact that this is the only bit of success they've had since The Force Awakens that you can tangibly say is real, and that is not so much, you know, I wouldn't say it's united the fans, but you don't have fans fighting over the politics so much as like Mary and, you know, and Mech and all of us will get into about the whole, like, well, what about his powers and how old is he really? And is he 5 years old or is he 50 years old? And we're talking of
worms. It's such a can of worms.
But you know what? I'd rather us talk about that shit than bitch about Kathleen Kennedy and Ryan Johnson. You know, I
agree.
I loved when we had the Duel of the Fates script out there. And I mean, I've got the script now that nobody gives a shit, but you know, but
you actually do have the script.
Yeah, I do have the script. And the thing is like, you know,
you actually read this.
I haven't got a chance to fucking read it, but I already know what's in it, you know.
I would love to know because I don't even know all the details. I would love to read it.
Oh, I want to get into it too. But I mean, it's like at least when that was out, we had something more to talk about instead of, you know, I mean, yeah, there was garbage attached to it because we had to say, well, why wasn't this movie made? Why wasn't this, you know, what we got on the screen? But again, that's another reason why, I mean, besides time, I haven't sat down to read it is because I just don't want to get depressed again after reading it going, God damn it, we could have had a decent fucking movie. And because of Ryan Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy, we didn't get it, you know? I mean, I'd hate to feel that way after reading this script.
Oh, that's right, Ryan. Yeah, it was. Wait, is there like
no, he's right.
Is there an actual PDF file or something?
Yes, I have the PDF file. If you want it, I'll send it to you.
Talking about the Reddit stuff, or
no, I have the actual fucking script.
Oh, okay, sure. I'd love to see it. I'd love to check it out. Maybe I'll like treat it like if I'm doing. I used to do script coverage a lot. There's a company that you know paid me to do that. So I used to like go through and see like what works and what doesn't work. So I love reading through screenplays. It's so much fun.
I thought about doing it like a play, like having Mary and all of us get together and do different parts and shit. But
like if we had like a script read through,
yeah,
that'd be a good idea.
I was thinking about that.
Why don't we do that?
I haven't figured out who I'm playing yet.
Okay. Am I supposed to be Ray? I don't do Vince's accent.
Yes, then we can have you for the entire
I want to be Rose. I want to be Rose Tico.
You want to be Rose Tico? All right.
I want to be Rose Tico.
She's got a bigger part in this movie, remember? In this script, remember?
Can I be
Finn?
Finn?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
No.
Can you be what?
Finn.
Maybe. But we probably have some black people who would probably want to do that part of the show.
As long as drunk 3PO is C3PO and
Guys,
he talks like he normally does.
We're rebuilding Lion King and we're using all black people voices. Because
exactly.
Correct.
Yes, Lord Callis will provide the voices for everybody.
And then that awkward person in the corner goes, well, then why are they using James Earl Jones still?
Why do I surround myself by assholes?
It was a joke.
What did I say?
There's some idiot out there that would. No, I know, but I'm just saying, there's got to be somebody. Just like, well, come on. Even George W. Bush waved at fucking Stevie Wonder. Everybody does stupid shit once in a while.
I think that was. I actually think that wasn't just George Bush. I think
I'm sure many of people have. That's
it's okay. Actually, one of my professors was blind, and he addressed that immediately. And I even said that, like, "Hey, I've held my hand up for a long time. Just like I told you this day one. I can't see you."
Guys need little bells.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know what it is, but you know, at least they're able to get around and stuff. But anyways,
No, I'll probably be Kylo.
You know,
probably be Kylo.
I know this is kind of weird and off subject, but I used to go to church with a lady named Debbie Green, who I probably sorry
Why did you dox them? Mary!
Anyway,
How dare you?
The whole point was she was blind, and when I was growing
That
up,
is totally a stripper name. You're full of shit.
she could literally hear that I had a great smile, and I was like, "I love you."
That's something blind people say to be nice. Just kidding. I've had a rough day. I'm sorry. I'm being mean Tom tonight. I apologize.
God,
Mary, come back. I apologize. I apologize.
I didn't do that. I did not do that. That was Justin.
Oh, Justin.
No, you left.
I did not do that. I did not do that. Justin, you shithead.
We all know that you and I are the only ones who do that on purpose, Justin.
I know. It's fun, isn't it?
I've literally never done that.
Oh, that's fair enough.
I believe her. I'm sorry, Justin.
No, I know.
Side with her.
I did it on purpose. It's okay. No,
it has nothing to do with I felt bad. No, I just totally believe her because just goes.
Oh, I know. It's. Oh wait. Shoot. Hold on.
Bang.
All right, now she's under you.
There you go. That's better. I was going to say something, but I was being good because it wasn't my channel or Mary. So.
Am I being passed around like a floozy?
Apparently.
That's
Holy cow! This is just wrong because I'm totally not a bottom.
Neither am I, so it's going to be a fight.
Awkward.
No, but at any rate, we're getting close to the hour mark. But I think, should we even bother finishing the rest of it?
That's up to you, man.
I think we'll just finish the rest of it because there are some points that really bother me.
Well, yeah, it bugs me when he gets into the whole deal about Trevorrow. We've been talking a little bit about it anyway. So
subbing for Trevorrow, blah 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 blah. I said Trevorrow. Oh. Improper.
Yeah, this part right here. This is the part that Andre also zeroed in on that pissed me off too.
Yeah, this made me upset. It said it's arguably a necessary evil after Carrie Fisher died in 2016. Her death, by the way, would have led to major revamps for the script, yada yada yada. Even with that caveat, the final product still felt damn well unfinished. Cool. What was this? What happened to Leia? Blah blah blah.
Let's just ignore the fact that they had an entire fucking year to fix The Last Jedi so that, Trevorrow could make his script work. All you'd have to do is change out Leia for Luke probably, and it'd work. I don't know. Just me.
Maybe. What does he just come back and stuff? Okay, as a Force ghost? Cool, that's great. But no.
Well, no, you just have Luke fucking live. And you have Leia pass away.
But he already disappeared. He's dead.
You didn't have to, though. You had a year to fix that. That's my point.
A year since she died?
Yeah, she died in December of 2016. The Last Jedi didn't come out until 2017.
I thought you meant after.
They could have reshot that to where all they had to do was fix it to where Leia died when she's out in space instead of becoming Mary Poppins. All she had to do is actually die. All you had to do is film one scene with everybody mourning the death of, Princess Leia. Then you move on, and then you just don't have Luke die.
It would have been super easy, barely an inconvenience.
You just shoot.
Oh, really?
You cut around her because she's not in majority of the movie anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But
and then you can actually have Akbar live.
It was a concession that Rian Johnson was altogether unwilling to make. He wanted his story told, and he didn't care about anybody's after his, right? Because he felt that Leia should have been the prominent one and should have been the one to move forward into the next film because that's what he wanted to set up or whatever.
And KK supported.
And KK supported it. Never mind that you don't don't have the actress you need to make that happen. This would have been a very easy fix, and they could have done it, and they chose not to because Rian Johnson is a flaming twat waffle. That's why. That's all. That's the only reason. There were fixes possible.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. That's something I wanted to touch on, was just the fact that he even said it in an interview. I'm unwilling, like I'm not going to change the story. Nothing is going to be changed because of this. It's just like, okay, well, I already filmed all that my scenes with my actress, so why would I bother to change it? That's the next guy's problem.
To me,
because he's an asshole.
And to me, that fake out was even more tasteless because of that. Yep. I mean, at that moment because I was full and ready to cry and say goodbye to my princess. When all of a sudden her fucking eyes open up and I'm like, wait, what the fuck is going on here?
I know. I was with you. There. And I think all of us were sort of shocked. And look, I would have preferred she have died in a different way if it were possible, right? Like I would have liked to have seen her die in something that was a bit more heroic, but you had what you had, and I would have understood that given the circumstances, right? And as long as there were an appropriate memorial given to her, as long as there were moments given, Luke feels her death through the Force, something, as long as you've done something to honor her, I think we all could have embraced it. It certainly would have been better than the shit half-assed death that we got in The Rise of Skywalker, where she's dying because she's lost the will to live. Fuck you in the left ear. Like, what the hell was that? What the hell was that? You still screwed us.
Left ear.
Well, and I thought that was the biggest cop out of the third episode 3 too. When I swear that was the dumbest thing I ever heard in film. She's losing the will to live. It's like, bitch just had 2 fucking kids and she's losing the will to live. Yeah, but she lives long enough to name them.
We've seen her go through wars. We've seen her getting beaten up and she had her back slashed open by like, we've seen this chick be an absolute badass, and you want me to believe? Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, I know that's my biggest issue with episode 3, and I think it's mainly because Lucas got cold feet at the last minute. I think that he was too afraid to let the audience think that Anakin had killed her.
Yeah, I agree.
I really do, because that's the logical solution here. You had her choked. She's just given birth. She's went through a bunch of shit. All you got to do is say we're losing her. We can save the babies, but we're losing her.
You could just cut that one line out.
That's all you had to do. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like,
we're
losing her.
But back to the point, that's what we wound up getting essentially with.
And then and then it made it even worse with Carrie Fisher's death, because then that supposedly justifies people when they say, "Oh, but well, look at what happened to Padme." It's like, no, it's not the same damn thing. She forced herself to death just like Luke, because now evidently forcing yourself to death is a thing. That just blows everything Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi and every other Jedi has ever taught you about the Force right out the fucking window.
Like, yeah, you could be, weak after a while. You use the Force enough. I don't know.
I have never seen the Force really take a toll on anybody before. Really,
not like that.
Yeah,
no, it's not even a sweat to Yoda to lift the fucking X-wing. Remember?
Well, it wasn't.
Well, it was. He
just lifts the fucker up. He drops it down. And he's like, "That's why you failed, bitch, because you ain't learning."
But you didn't see it. What happened afterwards? Afterwards, he probably was just like, "That's why you fail." And he's like, "Wait, what do you mean?" And he's like, "I'm too tired to tell you anymore."
No, he doesn't ever say that. At no point, watch it again. At no point
he doesn't say it. He doesn't say it, but they cut.
No, but look at him though. He doesn't go like
really off point here. We're really off.
No, I know, but
we are really off point.
Whenever think about it for a second though. Have you ever seen Vader get tired from choking a motherfucker? No. Have you ever seen Yoda get tired after ever using the Force, even in the prequels or anything else? No. The only thing that he does after that big ass fight with Dooku is go back to his fake ass walk shit. Because that's the only he's not really tired, he's just faking the shit. That's obvious.
Wait. Who again?
Yoda, right after that big ass fight.
He's
sitting there and he just walks up, picks up his stick, and then all of a sudden he starts limping again. So it's like, oh, that motherfucker's playing us this whole time.
Yeah, and that's what made it interesting. That's
what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. So that's what I was talking about. That's what you were talking about. Okay. Now I'm getting
we've seen all these Force users use the Force 1,000,000 times, do 100 amazing fucking things, and never get tired from it ever. Okay, it's never taken a toll on them in any way, shape, or form. But now all of a sudden, It is. It's this thing like, oh, you got a maximum. It's like a fucking video game.
But if they did, it was an emotional kind of toll, like, you know, when
but it had nothing to do with a physical thing. Yeah.
If we're talking about, like, you know, after Alderaan was blown up, Obi-Wan has to sit down. He's like, oh my goodness, you know, millions of voices crowded in terror, and we're suddenly silenced. Like that, you know, and he sensed that, and he sensed all of that, and you know that.
Right, but that's not him using the Force and getting tired from using the Force.
I
That's
think,
my point.
It was overwhelming, so it does take a toll on you, but it doesn't take a toll on you. It shouldn't be too physical. It's more emotional and that kind of more mental.
The only toll that it ever took is when Yoda is holding that giant frickin' tube above Anakin and Obi-Wan, and then he tosses it over to the side, and he takes one big deep breath, and then he picks his cane up.
Yep, you're right. That's right. That was right before that scene. You're correct.
Yep, you're 100% correct, PB.
And that was more of a strain of the concentration. Again, it didn't seem to take any toll on him physically. Yeah.
But just real quick, just to finish up what really pissed me off about this article.
He lived to be 900 years old.
Oh my God, we spent over an hour on this article.
I apologize, but it's a good point that needs to be pointed out.
Absolutely.
This over forcing yourself bullshit is like the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah. I mean, even in the Star Wars RPG games, like the D&D games, I mean, that's a thing, but it doesn't happen to that kind of extent. I don't think.
No.
Am I correct on that, Mary?
No, I agree. No, you can't force yourself to death. That's stupid.
No, you can't force yourself to death.
That's stupid.
Well, if that was also the case, every dark side user would be dying all the time because they would constantly be pushing themselves to that limit.
Right, and I guess it's because their hatred makes them stay alive. I don't know, some bullshit explanation, but it wasn't this paragraph that I was upset with. It was just like, whatever. He was expecting a well-made movie that occasionally made me roll my eyes in relation to how it walked back or retconned The Last Jedi, because he knew it was going to happen. So maybe he was predetermined to hate it. But that goes back to a point I think Mary made earlier, that he just loved The Last Jedi, and he was expecting it. You were expecting it to, like, you know, he was probably to see retcons because the movie sucked. But, you know, the one thing that I wanted to get at was, would 1.069 billion have looked better as the first or second biggest grossing movie of 2020 instead of the 9th biggest earner of the year? Behind even Warner Brothers R-rated Joker. Even Joker. Oh my God. Even Joker. That's something.
All that bites his ass.
Out China.
Joker still more profitable than Disney Star Wars. Woo! Bringing that joke back.
You know what's sad about this is if Scotty would really had concentrated, and I know he's probably got the script. I'm sure he's read it, the Trevorrow script. If he would have wrote this article from the aspect of the Trevorrow script would have at least made both sides happy, because it does not disregard The Last Jedi, and it makes everything work in spite of. You know, It's not like The Rise of Skywalker where you have five.
I still don't think it would have made both sides happy. I think it would have made the other side happy and would have made this side less angry than we were, because Luke has such a prominent role in it, right? And so he's very important in the Trevorrow script. And so I don't think it would have made the Phantom Menace happy. I don't think there's a whole lot.
Oh no, but
it would have taken some very careful tightrope walking to have repaired this to the Phantom Menace.
I'm willing to bet you would have had at least, let's say if you take an average of like 10 of us, I'm willing to bet if they would have went with the Trevorrow script with a few adjustments because of Carrie Fisher's, loss or us losing her, I bet you $5 at least 7, if not 8 out of 10 of us in the Phantom Menace would have actually given the film a decent review.
Yeah, I think it would have been far better. So.
I do as well. And with that being said, we have crossed the 1 hour mark, even though I wanted to talk a lot more about stuff, but this is the main article that I wanted to talk about. And this has led to, if we had more time, this would, I would love to have, further discussion about this, but Mary's got to get over to John Talk's channel, and you guys should all go over there, because what's it going to be? The Babes of the Phantom Menace is what he called it.
So the group we're actually
is that not what he called it?
No, it's not what it's called. It's called the.
It should be.
It's called, well, John Talks actually named us. It's called the Babe Dumb Menace. So, but yes, we're gonna be 3 out of 4 ain't bad tonight. We're gonna have myself, Steph, and Tugs on with him. We were hoping to have a Laura as well, but she's not gonna be available. But yes, John Talks named us, and so we're gonna be joining him tonight and discussing some stuff, and it's gonna be great. I'm excited.
I'm very much.
First of all, why didn't he go with the Femdom Menace? Makes more sense.
Look.
And second, I'm starting to. I'm not even gonna say it.
Because
go for it. It's fine.
All of us are sexy, Tom. That's why.
I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut.
It's done now. All right.
What were you gonna say, Tom? It's okay.
I will lodge your complaint with the other ladies and let them know. Who knows? Maybe we'll take a vote.
Doesn't matter. Everybody steals my ideas.
So never mind for the Babe Menace. We're not stealing anything.
I wasn't talking about that.
Now
we'll talk about it off air. Mary's got to go. We're gonna wrap it up here. I want to thank each and every. Oh my God, Gary North. Like John gets all the ladies. Not all of them. Otherwise, well, I won't get into that either. But no, he does. He does. He's able to rally around, a good group of men and women. And I think it's actually, John is probably one of the most respectful guys from Michigan that I've ever met. And this is coming from an Ohioan. So any sports ball fans, you'll get why you'll get why I said it. But anyways, we're going to wrap it up here. PB, what you got going on?
Don't got much going on. I don't know if we're doing a late night talks on General Zod tonight. I didn't check the group recently. You never know. He's pretty ridiculous on what his schedule is. And I've been working on my MCU March Madness. So if you want to go over to my Twitter and vote on the poll that's up right now, it's got 4 hours left on it to decide which movie you like better between Iron Man 2 and Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And then the next poll will be up at midnight.
Nice. All right. Tom?
What?
How are you?
I'm all right.
Tell the people what you got going on.
I don't know. I got like this weird burning thing on my toe right now.
Oh.
And
what kind of burning thing? Did you burn it?
They
Or?
got cream for that.
I got to go to the doctor and find out.
I'm sorry. Look, I can't pretend to be interested in your toes. I'm not Quentin Tarantino. I can't. But everyone, go check out Tom, Midnight Edge After Dark. Link is in the description. Go check him out. Actually, the first time, I still remember the first time that we met. I asked, it was on Rookie's B-Day stream, and I was like, Tom, do you have a channel? Before you left.
When he did that, I literally went, oh.
Oh, come on.
What are you doing?
Hey, but you know what? Tom
I realized you were joking, but it did not come across as a joke.
I was laughing. I actually,
I always laugh.
I do, because it's fun. Laughter is the best medicine. Anyways.
Me the last 4 or 5 days, but okay.
Well, you know what? You're here now. You're laughing now, and you're looking great. You feel Mary, go on. Tell the people what you got going on.
Well, hi guys. I am Mary B. I am the mistress of Mayhem, disruptor of the narrative, and official Whammon card holder. You can find me over on my channel, Mary Mayhem. You can also find me over on Midnight's Edge, as well as Geeks and Gamers. I have been sick for the past week and have been utterly incapable of doing anything resembling work. So I have not really been in a position to do anything. But you will hopefully see a bit more out of me for the next few days. Hopefully, at least I'll have shenanigans up on.
We hope so too. And I'm glad that you're recovering well. And I think this is the first stream since you've been gone.
Yeah. The last thing I did was Anna. The last thing I did was I went on with Anna, that Star Wars girl.
Last thing she did was Anna. That's quite a video.
Right up on Anna. No, I did a drunk stream with Anna, and went from drunk to hungover to incredibly unwell and not really sure when what became what. So it was weird and odd.
I'm glad you're okay now.
Yeah, much better.
One more question I'm going to get from the chat. CT117 is asking, when is the proper council? And yes, okay, so the proper council, that's something that's been in development for a while. That's basically all of what I used to have was that time of the month, the Council of Jeremy's. And one of two things. One, we'll do a Council of Jeremy's reunion and we'll go retro, and that will be a lot of fun. I'm discussing it with the boys and everybody. Mary, you're invited as well, but we'll talk about that later. Because they're all Jeremys. They're all Jeremys.
I am voluptuous Jeremy. Okay.
You're Wookiee Jeremy. You know that.
Be a girl and be a Jeremy. All right.
Okay. Is there a delicious Jeremy?
There's yes.
Damn it! Why is it every Jeremy I think of there already is one? I'll never be a Jeremy.
No, all you have to do.
Because everyone steals your ideas.
Yes, they do.
They do. They do. Anyways, guys, thank you for joining us. More on the whole proper council. That's something that is to be discussed with all of the Jeremys, the former Jeremys, and current Jeremys that are still around. Because I still feel like the point of those streams was to give the voice to people who otherwise wouldn't have been able to have one. So that's something that I've been considering for a while since coming back. But anyways, we do got to get running. And thank you all so much for joining us. Live long and proper, and a lot of options. So thank you for choosing us today.
Go check out John Talks.
Yes, and go check out John Talks. I heard he's okay.
Yeah. No, we're going live over here, being bat.
Yeah.
He's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty good. No, I like the guy. I was on his channel last week. Pretty cool. But yeah, I'm rambling now. So bye, everyone. We're going to end it.